Nigeria is a member of the United Nations General Assembly. We are part of the United Nations. So all resolution of the United Nations, we are expected to comply. There is a resolution of the United Nations called Resolution 2178, which urge all member states to use Interpol I-247. I-247 means information 24 hours / 7 days. So information I-247 of the Interpol tools database to monitor and prevent persons from entering and exiting its territories who are wanted locally or globally. As you are aware, wanted persons are flagged up globally by Interpol. Terrorists, child offenders, and many categories of people wanted. If a country wants to declare somebody wanted, can approach Interpol and flag that person as a wanted person. Important also is not the only person, because the person does not travel alone. The person travels with a passport, a travel document. So in that Interpol database, there's a provision for a section called stolen travel document. Stolen, lost, damaged, or any passport that a country considered it not to be used. You are expected as a country to upload into the Interpol database. When you upload this information into the Interpol database, the information goes to member countries so that they see that that passport has been stolen, that passport has been lost, that passport has been revoked, because there are passports that can be revoked if it is illegally issued. But before the coming of this administration, even before in 2019, we are not connected early with Interpol anyhow. Although we have made effort since 2016 when I came on board to work with the Nigerian police force to make sure we have connectivity, because Interpol is a tool for law enforcement. We are law enforcement that are in charge of border. But I would like to appreciate the current Inspector General of Police, who was also an executive director of Interpol. So you can appreciate why it became easier under his leadership as an IG, that we are connected to Interpol in here headquarters. So what we used to do, we take the passport that are lost, physically or stolen, and take it to Interpol police headquarters and give it to them. Then they will put it manually into the Interpol database. That we started at the beginning of last year. Before then, we don't issue. So if you lose your passport, nobody knows you lost your passport globally. If a passport is stolen, nobody knows. But from last year, Mr. President directed that we should start doing it. So we started taking it physically to Interpol headquarters, Abuja, for them to put it manually. But last year, President set a committee under the leadership of the Minister of Interior on harmonization of data. And one of the tasks under it is to make sure the upload of stolen and lost passport is done seamlessly without doing it manually. So what did we do? We started connecting from our headquarters, where every Friday we upload this database, and that is what all African countries are doing. They do it either weekly or do it monthly, but they upload lost and stolen passport into that database. But that is not the practice. The expected practice globally is to provide seamless and automatic connection, so that once your passport has been reissued as lost, automatically it is available to member countries. That is what we achieved on Monday. We have achieved the automation of our connectivity between our database and that of Interpol. That makes a great success for Nigeria. People didn't appreciate, but the truth of the matter is that we have uploaded up to 150,000 lost and stolen passports since we started the passport database. And we became the first country in terms of volume in Africa to upload that number. You can appreciate because of our size. We're a large country, so naturally we will upload more. But what we have done on Monday is that we have achieved automation. No African country is automatically connected to Interpol database where things are done real time online, except Nigeria. I think we need to commend the government of Nigeria for achieving that success. People will say, what is the value in it? What is the password? That password is being uploaded into Interpol database. It has a lot of security value. It has political value. It has economic value. Even though our database, as of today, we have issued, since the new passport arrived, e-passport 2007, we introduced the new 17. We introduced the new passport. We have issued 473,000 passport booklet. 473 passport booklets have been issued. It means, like myself, I have renewed many passport booklets. But in our database, surprisingly, we only have the APIs, the fingerprints, of 7,994,571 as at today. So you can see the population of percentage of people who have passport is very small in Nigeria, but they are the elite of Nigeria. They are the wealthy, educated, and political elite of Nigeria. All the members of National Assembly have the passport, all the governors, all the chief executives. So these are the political and the elite who have this document. But as they move around the world, it is important for the world to monitor them because of a lot of issues that will happen, even for their interest. Supposing your passport is stolen in a car, you parked in a car, and then somebody took the passport out of the country and decided to use it as your person in another territory. Immediately when that passport is scanned, it will alert that that passport has been stolen if you report it to immigration. And that person will be arrested. I think it helps even the holder to do that. But the common issues we used to have before this incident are Nigerians who want to have multiple passports by declaring it lost. The system will not allow you to have two when you present a second one. So how do they do it? They go to the police and report that their passport is lost. They swear a court affidavit. What can we do? We give them a passport. When we give them a passport, they can use that passport they declared lost to apply for visa elsewhere. This time is not possible because most of the missions are connected with Interpol database. Our borders airport is connected with Interpol database. All the 194 countries are connected. So even if you declare it lost and then you decide to use it somewhere, you are in trouble. Already we have hits. We have many passports that have been retrieved, especially like in London, the common destination for Nigeria. And some of them are elites whose passport have been found to be lost, but they are using it, which means they told lies to immigration that the passport was lost, and now they are using it. The consequences are enormous. We are prosecuting them because they have first obtained that passport through fraud, through falsehood. When you declare that it is lost, it's falsehood. If it is burnt, it cannot be seen. Are you with me? But if he tells a lie and say, look, my passport is burnt, you go and collect fire service report, because that's the requirement, that there is a report from fire service. You do an affidavit, you bring to us, your passport is burnt. No problem. The system will say that passport is burnt in the database. So it appears, if you go and put that passport somewhere, it will appear in the database as a passport that you claim to have been burnt. It's even more dangerous than saying it is stolen. You may give excuse to say, oh, I got the passport, I don't know. But you said it is burnt. It's more dangerous. Even ordinary reissue. But you know, when you reissue a passport, we don't reissue until we see the passport you are changing in your hand. Even if you have 10 years visa, what do? We cancel without prejudice. I return the passport to you. So there will be a cancellation without prejudice. Your visa may be in the old passport, but still you are traveling with a new passport given to you. But mistakenly, if you are able to connive with other officers, or you, by mistake, it is issued without being stamped, that passport, even though there is no stamp on it, that it has been cancelled without prejudice, that passport cannot be used for traveling because it has been electronically deactivated. So you can see the changes are enormous. There is no way you can beat the system. You go to the embassy, and in that embassy we give you what we call emergency travel certificate to return home. This emergency travel certificate is a certificate that allows you to return directly home without stopping elsewhere. And I'm glad to tell that the Minister of Interior has already approved what we call temporary passport, which will replace emergency travel certificate. Unlike what has been happening, in the next few months, we are going to see another change in passport administration. What is happening globally is very disturbing. If you lose your passport, you go to the embassy and say you lose your passport. There's a possibility you give another name to come back. And it has been happening. And if that name you have given might give you a cover, could be you are wanted by the host country's authority. Probably you are in Ghana, or you are in America, or you are in India. You go and tell them you declared your passport lost, and then you bring an affidavit that your name is different. They give you emergency travel with another name. You may escape the justice of that country. Or you are wanted in Nigeria for certain crime, for armed robbery, for terrorism, for money laundering by EFCC. Then you get that emergency travel with another name. You may escape and enter Nigeria with another name. But Mr. President has tasked us and we have complied. The Minister of Interior has approved deployment in what we call temporary passport. That temporary passport, if you lose your passport, you will have it. 4-page booklet. It will be launched by the Minister of Interior and probably with his counterpart in Foreign Affairs, and will not be given to you until we certify it is the same name you have in your data. We have developed the forensic already. The tool is already available with us, where we put the fingerprint, we get your data. If you want us to try, we can try with one of you, just to see what is happening. We can allow you to have a test to see what it is. You just put your fingerprint, we'll see your passport. So even missions where there are no passport issuing centers, we'll provide that forensic facility. People will put their fingerprint. When Nigeria say they lose their passport, we'll issue you temporary passport based on your data, not on another name. So this will also strengthen security, would improve trust for Nigerian government by countries where Nigerians might have been misbehaving and returning with another identity. It will help our national security because people who are wanted will not be able to come with another identity. So there is no way you can come anywhere in Nigeria loses his passport. He should report to the nearest embassy, and that embassy will give him a document to return back home. There's no way you can use it. But if you found that passport, no problem. Since you tell immigration that you have found it, because you cannot use it. By the time when you come and get that temporary passport we are given, we have already recorded that passport is lost and we have uploaded it into Interpol database. So if you found that passport and you want to leave that country, at the border they will say, no, you can't travel because you have declared that passport lost. So information is key. We need to do a lot of engagement with Nigerians so that they can appreciate the changes that have come across. Our relationship with Nigerian police force is very good. That's why I said it's very impressive that today the Nigerian police force is headed by somebody who has worked in Interpol. He was an executive director in Interpol Lyon, so he knows the importance of information 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days, I-247 for law enforcement agencies like us who are in charge of the border. We're in charge of entry and exit of person. We're in charge of issuing documents. So we import I-247, the Interpol's tool, is available for law enforcement. It's for customs to check goods. For example, all stolen cars can be uploaded into Interpol stolen cars. At the port, when they are clearing, they check the engines and chassis. They find out that this car is stolen. They will report to the country involved. Look, this car you have reported in America, now it is in Nigeria. Police who are doing normal check, in a normal society, they are supposed to carry the I-247 to check vehicles around. So the tool Interpol is just I-247. It's a tool. It's a software. It's not an office. It's not a people that law enforcement can use, and we are part of that law enforcement. The police have allowed us only the system of Interpol that you cannot work directly alone with the Lyon. You need to work with the NCB, the National Central Bureau. The Central Bureau is with the Nigerian police, but we are also a small part of policing. I'm glad to tell you that we are working very well. What you ask, the future is sustainable. It will not go back to the old system. There is no way anybody can go back to the old system and dismantle this, because Nigeria has reached a level of automation. That's why I said I would like to show you what it is, so that they know what it is real or false. You know, you would take fingerprint of any one of you who have a password to see how it works. But the truth of the matter is that you said, what is my my dream? The dream is very simple. My dream is that building. I keep telling you every day. There is a building outside called Technology Building. In that building, we are going to put all data, collecting data from our service providers, collecting data from those who have been given the data. We'll keep it in one place. We'll share it real time with law enforcement. If you go to the airport, you know what I mean. At the airport today, you pass through our airport, you see, we take your biometric, we scan your passport, we take your picture. We will be able to know if you're a wanted person right from this building. Other law enforcement that need those wanted people, they'll be able to know once a person hits the database at our airport. So it's a technology building, that's the future. And that's the future. Before COVID-19, we're already ready. As you met us, we are doing training with our management. And we said by the next month, we should not have paper. Our management should just touch computer, EDMS. COVID-19, we're already ahead of it, so we're going E, and God's willing, the future of immigration will be E. And that's the future of public service. It will no longer be the same where files are moving around, where meetings, money has been spent for long meetings. You do it online, you do a lot, you save a lot of money. A lot of movement of files are secured because you are going to do it online and quicker and faster. That reduces corruption, that reduces contact between officers and the individuals. I think the future is great for this country, not only for NIS. COVID is a problem, but it's an opportunity for development. Immigration point is the only point that a passenger must stop. When you are going to custom, you have a choice to declare or not to declare. If you pass through green, the custom might leave you to go. If they don't suspect you, but if they flag you, they can stop you to check your bag. The only place you need to stop anywhere in the world when you enter airport is immigration, because you have to present your passport. So we have to take adequate measures to protect our officers. If you go to the airport today, we have provided shields at our counters so that there will be no direct contact between officers and the passengers that are coming. Remember, the change we have now, the risk was higher when the airport was closed, where we take passport. If aircraft arrive during the closure of the airport, where only Nigerians are being repatriated or non-Nigerians are being taken out for special aircraft evacuation, the risk is different. Unlike before, during the closure, we collect the passport, and that collected passport can be a source of transmission for us. So we are very careful. They use hand glove, they put in a leather bag until the person goes and collects his test result, then the person collects his passport. This time, when the new airport, the airports have been opened, from this Saturday that have passed, no keeping of passport. The government of Nigeria decided that people should queue online, apply for test and pay for it. When they come to Nigeria, after 7 days, they will do that test. Also, you cannot board an aircraft to Nigeria until you have negative test. This is measures taken by the government of Nigeria to make sure that the coronavirus is not spread. And we as an agency, we have provided that provision. It's in the act for the minister to add condition of entry. The minister has the power to add condition. The Minister of Control and Immigration can add condition of entry. And the power of the act says the minister can allow immigration to communicate that condition of entry even verbally to travelers. So we have communicated to travelers that they need test for COVID-19 to board. So legally, it's okay by law. If they violate that law, then it's punishable by act. Those who are non-Nigerians, we can return them back to their country. Those who are Nigerians, if they violate the act, they have provision for punishment. Even minister can revoke their passport. So it is a very serious issue because the public health is the next concern after terrorism. After September 11th, the fear the world has is admitting somebody who would be a threat to our economies, to our security. But today, the additional fear is public health. We are very careful not to admit person who would spread disease. So government of Nigeria has taken adequate measures to make sure the coronavirus is not spread. And you will agree with me, the government has done well. Coronavirus is under control in this country. We need to commend, and that's why Mr. President has been given the champion to fight coronavirus in West Africa. I think with our population, with our roots, the things is not moving as high as many people expected. I think we need to commend this government for that.